If you're looking for a neighborhood with charm, personality, and something that feels a little different from the typical suburban community, this video is for you.
We're sharing 5 of Orlando's most charming neighborhoods, and we'll be doing something a little different.
For each neighborhood, we'll rate it out of 10 in 2 categories, charm and walkability. This is a 2-part series, and in the next video, we'll cover more of the most charming neighborhoods near Orlando, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that video. I'm Savannah.
And I'm Kathy.
Together, we're Team Williams Mother-Daughter Realtor Duo and your Orlando relocation experts. Let's start with one of Orlando's most beloved neighborhoods, College Park. If you've never been here, the first thing you'll notice is the charming local vibe. There are beautiful oak trees, brick streets, historic homes, and a true neighborhood atmosphere.
One of our favorite things about College Park is Edgewater Drive. It's lined with local restaurants, coffee shops, boutiques, and small businesses. You can spend an entire afternoon here grabbing coffee and then having dinner out without ever leaving the neighborhood.
Another reason people love College Park is the variety of homes. You'll find everything from beautifully renovated bungalows and even new custom construction.
And despite feeling tucked away, you're only about 10 minutes from downtown Orlando.
So now for our ratings. What would you give for walkability and for charm for College Park?
So for College Park, I think I give it about an 8.5 for walkability. And the reason why that's a little bit lower is it's an older neighborhood, right? It's built in the 40s and 50s for the most part. And a lot of the streets only have a sidewalk on one side. Those were even just recently added in the last 15, 20 years. So as far as walkability, I think that kind of hinders it a little bit, although the schools are right in the neighborhood, so you can walk to school, you can walk to parks, you can walk to Publix and CVS, if not, then bike to it. So it is very walkable, but I think that's my 8.5 reason for the walkability.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for charm, it's like a 9, maybe 9.5. It is definitely a 9 though, because it's got the beautiful oak trees and it's just charming. We lived there for a while, so we love it. And a lot of older homes, unique homes, architecture, very charming.
Okay, so I would say, compared to other walkable neighborhoods in the Orlando area, I think College Park is probably more of like a 9 with walkability because, there's a Publix grocery store, there's restaurants, there's shops, there's a pharmacy. So it really has all you need. And then as far as charming quality, I would give it, I would put it up there too, probably like a 9.5 because it's super cute.
It is super cute.
And eclectic, which
very eclectic
is cool. Yeah.
Next is Baldwin Park, a master plan community next to one of the 2 VA hospital locations in Orlando. This neighborhood has a completely different feel than College Park. While it doesn't have the same historic character, it has a polished, traditional feel that's really charming in its own way.
Everything was intentionally designed to encourage walking and spending time outdoors. There are miles of walking trails around Lake Baldwin, beautiful parks, neighborhood pools, and one of the best town centers in Orlando.
Yes, for sure. Yes, the downtown area has restaurants, coffee shops, fitness studios, and events throughout the year. It's one of those neighborhoods where people are constantly outside walking. They're walking their dogs, riding bikes, meeting friends. Very social.
And if you're looking for a newer neighborhood with lots of charm and walkability, Baldwin Park is definitely worth considering. So now for our ratings. I would give Baldwin Park I think I'm going to give it a 9.5 for walkability because of all of the parks and sidewalks and the walking trail around the lake. And it also has everything you need, pharmacy, grocery store, restaurants, all in one place. And then charm, I would give it like an 8.5 for charm because it is really pretty and picturesque, but I personally prefer more of like an eclectic feel in a neighborhood.
Historic homes and older homes, yeah. So I'm going to go I'm going to take that and ante it up a little bit. I'm going to go for walkability a 10 because I don't think there's a more walkable area in Central Florida than Baldwin Park. Not only can you walk to all the places that Savannah talked about, but there's also doctor's offices, dentist offices, like really like everything you need is in Baldwin Park. But it's still very centrally located to places like Winter Park and downtown Orlando, so that you can hop on an Uber. You can even bike. I've biked downtown from Baldwin Park and it took me like maybe 15, 20 minutes. So it's very walkable, very easy to get around. As far as the charm side of it, that's tough because I also live there. I've lived in the first two walkable areas. But I would say as far as charm goes, I'm going to give it a little bit higher than you. I'm going to give it a 9 because I thought, when I lived there anyways, I loved all the walking paths through the parks and you just could walk forever and never hit an ugly spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just like beautiful trees, beautiful parks, shops, everything was just so nicely kept and charming. So a little higher ranking on the charm side than you, but pretty close.
Before we share the next most charming neighborhood, we want to let you know we have a Greater Orlando relocation guide that you can download by clicking the link in the description box. It's full of all kinds of info about Orlando, including all of the suburbs to consider moving to, so be sure to download that guide. Next up is Audubon Park, a neighborhood tucked next to Baldwin Park and Winter Park. One of the things that makes Audubon Park so charming is that it has a true neighborhood feel. It's filled with locally owned restaurants, coffee shops, boutiques, vintage stores, and small businesses that give it a lot of personality.
One of our favorite parts of the neighborhood is Corinne Drive. It's lined with some fantastic restaurants and cafes, unique shops, making it a great place to spend an afternoon just exploring around.
And if you're a foodie, Audubon Park is hard to beat. Whether you're grabbing brunch, coffee, dessert, or dinner, there are so many locally owned spots to choose from. It's also right next to Lou Gardens, one of Orlando's most beautiful botanical gardens, and just minutes from downtown Orlando.
The homes there are just as charming as the businesses. You'll find a mix of mid-century ranch homes, renovated bungalows, and tree-lined streets that give the neighborhood a warm, established feeling.
So what would you rate it?
Okay, let's see. So with Audubon Park, it's a little bit more eclectic than the previous two neighborhoods. So for walkability, I would give it I'm going to give it a 7.5. It is very walkable, and I probably should say 8, but 7.5. And the main reason why is because it's really not necessarily walkable to a Publix or a CVS.
Yeah.
It does have great shops, fun little restaurants, tucked away great places to go to. So that part is very walkable. You can definitely go out for dinner at night and walk wherever you want to go or walk out for breakfast. It's got some amazing little places like the Salty Donut that people drive from all over to get to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's got definitely some pull. But for that reason, I think I would give it a little bit lower ranking.
Yeah, same. What about charm and quality?
Okay, for charm, I would give it, maybe about the same ranking, about 7.5. Yeah, because of the eclecticness of it.
What do you mean by eclectic?
So there's a lot more. It's kind of like College Park was 20 years ago. It's definitely hit or miss. I'd say it's hit or miss as far as the overall charm. That's me.
I would give it about the same, I think, for walkability because, no grocery store, no pharmacy. 7.5 seems like a good number there. But lots of cool restaurants, stores. And then charming quality, I would say it's just a little bit under College Park for me. I think I gave College Park like a 9.
A 9, so maybe an 8.
So I would say it's like an 8 or 8.5. Because I think there are a lot of similar homes to College Park, but it doesn't have as many nicer homes, I guess. Like It doesn't have as many luxury homes as College Park does.
It's getting there. They're building more, but it's not quite there yet. So I'd say that's a great place to get into now before it gets super expensive like these other neighborhoods we've mentioned already. Our next neighborhood is SoDo, which stands for South of Downtown.
Here, you're just minutes from downtown Orlando Health, major highways, and lots of restaurants and local businesses.
Like most of the neighborhoods on this list, there's quite a mix of homes here. Different home types at different price points, that sort of thing.
SoDo is especially popular with professionals because it's easy to get almost anywhere in Orlando from here, very close to the hospitals. And while it's not as walkable as some of the other neighborhoods on this list, there are definitely pockets where you can walk to grab dinner or coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want to go first on this one?
Sure. I mean, walkability, I think I'm going to give it actually a little bit lower than the last one. I would say it's a 7 for me because it can get pretty trafficky down there. And then charming quality, I would give it like an 8. I think it's pretty cute. There's definitely a lot of like really pretty streets that are like brick lined and have like historic homes, and then there's other homes that are like good for first time home buyers. Like it's a good neighborhood to get your foot in the door and still be in like a popular place to live.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but I'm going to be a little different again on this one. I'm going to give it a 6.5 for walkability because you're right. There are places you can walk to. And certainly if you're in the medical profession, you can walk to work, which is really great. And there are grocery stores mixed into it. I'm not going to say all of them would be walkable from every part of SoDo because SoDo is a pretty spread out area. But overall, I don't think it's someplace where most people walk around a lot.
Yeah.
It's more like they hop in their car, even though it's 2 minutes away, they may hop in their car. But as far as charm, you're right. There are some pockets of really charming homes built in the 50s and 60s. And they're just, it can be a very charming place to live, the tucked in neighborhoods. A lot of neighborhoods without HOAs. And we know a lot of people kind of like that no HOA thing. So that's definitely a draw for the charm.
Right.
Lots of old, big old oak trees and that sort of thing that make it charming.
Yeah,
Not a lot of brick lined streets or that sort of thing. Sidewalks are touch and go. But overall, yeah, I would say it's got some charm.
And you can't easily walk to the Publix or like there's pharmacies, but you can't really easily walk to those things.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a walk.
Last but definitely not least is Thornton Park. You're really at the center of it all here because it's located in downtown Orlando.
The brick streets, historic bungalows, towering oak trees, and views of Lake Eola make this one of the most picturesque neighborhoods in Orlando. There's lots of condo options as well, and some single-family homes.
You're within walking distance of Lake Eola Park, dozens of restaurants, wine bars, coffee shops, a Publix, and downtown events. If you're looking for more of an urban city lifestyle, Thornton Park is definitely one to consider. For walkability, I would say this one's definitely higher than the last one because it's easier to get to Publix and like CVS, not so much, but there's restaurants.
There is a CVS down on Lake Eola.
So as far as ratings for Thornton Park, I would give Thornton Park a walkability score of like, it's 8.5 for me. There's the Publix, there's a CVS, there's restaurants. It can get a little bit like busy and trafficy downtown. So that's why I would put it like at 8.5 rather than 9 or 10. But it's got everything you need. And then charming quality, it's definitely like a 9 or a 10 for me, just because I mean, there's really cute historic homes. There's, really nice like high rises there too. And so you get great views of the downtown area and Lake Eola.
Yeah, I think the neat thing about Thornton Park is that it's right downtown, but it's just set off of the really busy part, like Lake Eola. It's just set off from that. So the little area of Thornton Park, it's very small, but you have access to walk right over to Lake Eola, which is downtown Orlando's centerpiece. So lots to do, lots to walk to. You know, there's a farmer's market on Saturday or Sunday, one of those days.
Sunday.
And there's just so many things. So yes, walkability, I would have to, just by virtue of that, I would have to give it an 8.5 just because of that. As far as charm, I'm a mixed bag on the charm though, because downtown, there's some pros and cons to downtown. But as far as charm, the brick lined streets of Thornton Park itself are beautiful. So I would probably give it a 8.5 too.
That sounds good. Before we wrap up, we have one bonus neighborhood that we just couldn't leave off the list, and that's Mills 50.
If you're looking for a neighborhood with personality, diversity, and one of the best food scenes in all of Orlando, Mills 50 is pretty hard to beat. This area has really become known for its incredible mix of local restaurants, coffee shops, breweries, cocktail bars, and international cuisine for sure.
There are colorful murals, local art, independent businesses, and there's always something new opening up. It's the kind of neighborhood where you can spend an afternoon just walking around and discovering places you've never been before and new types of food. So, what are your rankings?
Okay, I'll go first this time. For Mills 50, for me, I don't see it as, it is walkable, but I'm going to give it like a 6 on walkability. Yes, you can walk, but Mills is a very busy road, so you have to find an intersection to cross at because otherwise it's super dangerous to try to cross Mills. If you're just back in the neighborhoods, that's great, but there's not really access to a pub. There is Publix, you know, it's a few blocks away. It is accessible. I'm over exaggerating. It's probably a 5-minute, 10-minute walk, so it's not bad, but I just don't see people walking around there as much as I do other neighborhoods. So,
for sure.
But you're absolutely right about all the great places to go. We eat there a ton. I love all the great Asian restaurants in that area. So good. And as far as charm, I'm probably going to give it the same, about a 6.
Yeah, I think I would give it a 6 for walkability as well because, yeah, it's just really busy down there. So it's not always the safest to, you know, cross Colonial and Mills, of course. And then charm, I think it's pretty up there for me. I would give it a 9 or 9.5.
Wow, okay, we're very different on that one.
Because I just love the Asian scene. I love like all the different types of food and like the eclectic style of the street, you know, with all the different restaurants. And so I think I would say that. Yeah.
Okay. Of course, everyone's definition of charming is a little different. Some people love historic neighborhoods while others prefer newer communities with lots of amenities.
And if you're trying to figure out which Orlando neighborhood fits your lifestyle best, we'd love to help. Reach out using the information below to schedule a consultation. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.